Hello everybody, good morning. How's it going? Let me tell everyone I'm live really quick and then I'll get moving on this. I think that's right. Okay. Should be good. Triceratops fan. Hello, how's it going? Funky Toast, hey. Welcome, welcome. Alright. So, let's see. I'm in the process of adjusting. I was working a little bit on this morning before stream. I'm working on shifting around this beak shape so we can accommodate all these teeth. So I moved these around last time, so I need to make sure that they're in the right spot and that they interlock okay. And I gotta add one tooth here in that little gap there. So I will do that. What is the easiest way for me to do this? I think I'm just gonna duplicate one of these teeth here. And then move that over. Smogsy, hey, how's it going? Good morning. Jewish American, did you ever think that you would make that much money from the Kickstarter? Honestly, when I saw the number that was selected for the goal, I felt like we had a pretty good shot of getting that amount. Just considering like how many people seemed interested in the project, like how well the project was moving, like how much had already been accomplished. Because like the biggest hurdle in I feel like the biggest hurdle in a Kickstarter is just actually showing people that you can actually do what you say you're going to do. And we had plenty of like, I mean, we had models, we had gameplay, we had the tech demo going live so people could actually get inside and like play around with stuff. Like lots of Kickstarters don't have that. Lots of Kickstarters just get launched on like, hey, look at this idea, and they have like static pictures or like they'll have like gameplay, but it's just like recordings of gameplay, not really like people can't really go and try it, you know? So all things considered, I feel like we had a really good shot at getting at least the base, you know, funds. And we did, so I'm really it's a really cool thing to have the community come together and support the game and make more, make some of the other goals that we wanted to do possible. I haven't been a part of too many, like, I mean, I've been a part of a lot of like indie projects. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't go so well. So being able to be a part of this team and contribute to a project that has this level of interest to it is really cool. Yeah, yeah, I gotcha, True Irish, sorry. Yeah, I understand. But like, just from my perspective, that's what I think about the whole thing. I don't know what everybody else thinks. Fox, hello, how's it going? Smoxy, I love how YouTube doesn't have an issue until I watch a stream. Wanted to help on Kickstarter, but the sad part about it is that I don't own a card. You mean like you mean like to pay or something? I would say don't worry about it. I mean, there's Kickstarter support, and then there's also, like, if you're playing the game and you're here watching, and there's other ways to support the game, you know. Spread the word, tell your friends. You know, be here like you are. We appreciate you coming in and chatting and all that stuff. So don't worry about it. Smogsy, thanks so much. Thanks for the donation. EOE is going to be fantastic. So excited to see what this year has in store for it. Yeah, me too, for sure. Oh, Fox. Sleepy. Can't go off yet. Well, I don't know if you're like me. When I usually have something playing when I try to sleep. Usually it's like a let's play of something, some game, or some sort of live stream. I think the ambient noise kind of helps. Mitchell, yeah, much appreciated. Like that, all that stuff goes a long way, I think. Word of mouth, I think people underestimate word of mouth a lot. But it's a really important way to promote a new idea, a new game, a new anything, really. I have a playlist for music to sleep. Yeah, that's another good strategy. How long do you think it will take to complete the Tropeo? We're pretty close to we're pretty close to wrapping up the high poly. I wouldn't say we have too many more streams of high poly stuff to do. And then it's just like feather stuff. It might take a little bit longer than some of the other models just because feathers are kind of a pain. And we want these to look really good, so I don't know, the bar feels kind of high. At least I kind of I've set that for myself, I suppose. But I would really like these feathers to look really nice. So we're gonna work on that for maybe a while. We still have like colors and stuff to consider. So there's more stuff to do, but the high poly is pretty much, it's very close to being done. I'm out here doing like all these little details and stuff. Detail work is kind of like the finishing stages of stuff, right? So if I'm detailing this closely, that means that we're kind of nearing the end of it. Yeah, we'll have to see how on average, like how it goes. I'm interested myself to see how long it takes, because I'm learning about kind of like the way I work. Like that's kind of what's helpful about these streams, is it lets me like see how long it takes to do stuff, which is a very valuable set of information to have when you're an artist and you're trying to be productive, you're trying to be efficient, all that stuff. It really helps me like understand like where I'm spending my time, where I could optimize certain things. So I'm also interested in how long it's going to take me. As of right now, it's pretty much on par with all the other stuff that I've done. I think I'd have to actually like sit down and take a look. Quick question. Will there be a tutorial? I'm not sure. Like in-game tutorial. Yeah, I don't know. Probably be a good idea. Tutorials are nice, but they can be, especially in the beginning. It's not like super high priority, right? But it is nice. They can take a little bit to get together and stuff, though. So that might be something that comes down the pipe a little bit later. Let's see. How realistic would the models for creatures like T-Rex or raptors be? I think that's your question. Feathers or Jurassic Park? So the aesthetic that I've been adhering to so far is pretty close to paleo accurate, with some exaggerations here and there. I'd say it's like 80-90%, fairly strict paleo informed, right? But then there's like little embellishments here and there, specifically just because either it's like an opportunity, like maybe it's like a speculative area, or something like that, where we can take a little bit of artistic license and embellish things a little bit, or just simply to reinforce gameplay. Like for example, the Tropeo, its proportions and all that stuff are based on the skeleton. So as far as its overall anatomy, I feel like it's pretty accurate. But there's little things like the size of the teeth that are a bit exaggerated. The size of the crest is a bit exaggerated. Stuff like that. It's like subtle. It's like, I would like it to be like something that you wouldn't notice immediately as being exaggerated, but if you compared it to the real fossils, you would notice the difference. That kind of thing. But as far as like feathers, I don't think people have been putting feathers on T-Rex lately. Not in some of the major reconstructions that I've seen. I think we're shifting back to a more featherless approach to T-Rex, at least in the adult stages. Sometimes you might see like a little bit of like fuzzy stuff on the T-Rex, but not like full-blown feathers. And raptors, of course, you gotta feather those guys, make them have nice wings and things like that. So that's what we'll end up doing. How they look specifically, I don't know yet, but that is the idea. True Irish. I keep calling you True-ish. I'm sorry. True Irish. Tutorial with a separate area for the main map explaining, showing, and letting people play. Carnivores, herbivores, and tribals would be an amazing way to introduce people to the game. Yep, I agree. I assume if feathers are a pain, Dino-Kairos is going to be hell. Possibly. Like, they are a pain. But there's also, like, the more you do something, the easier it becomes. So, like, the Tropeo might be a little bit of a struggle. But once we get past that and into more and more and more, I think it'll be fine. It depends on exactly when the Dino-Kairos is coming out, like where in the roster it is, and like when I'm working on it though. If it's like right after Tropeo, maybe that's an issue. I don't know exactly. POT does a tiny and basic tutorial, and the Isle doesn't have one. Okay. What creature was in the background there? Oh, that's my little doggy. She's either hearing something. She's been kind of naughty the past few streams. She barks at me and like wants. I think she wants me to let her out. She's a very smart little girl. So she's very vocal. Like when she wants something, she'll tell you. And sometimes she just gets impatient and she doesn't want to be in my office this early in the morning. So we'll see how I think right now she's just hearing some other dogs outside. Our neighbors have 2 really big dogs. And sometimes they kind of roam around and just bark and do random stuff in their yard. So she can hear them, and she'll do little what do they call it? Like when dogs like don't want to fully bark, but they just like That kind of thing. They do like that little, they catch their bark inside their mouth, you know? She's doing that right now. Let's see. T-Rex boy, yeah, Mipe is already planned, so we'll do Mipe. I'm excited for Mipe because it's I love Megaraptors. They're probably one of my favorite groups of theropods, so that's gonna be really fun to sculpt. Gen Pop Fish. Hey Rar, Trope is looking amazing. Oh, thanks so much. True Irish. When he's modeling Dino Kairos and Therizinosaurus will be very invested in the stream. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Stop by and hang out when we're doing those. Like I have not. Therizinosaurs are a group of dinos that I have kind of neglected, and Dino Kairos is it Dino? He's not a Therizinosaur. I think that technically is like a big ornithopod, if I'm remembering correctly. But anyway, those types of dinosaurs are definitely, they've been neglected as far as like groups of dinos that I've sculpted. So it's going to be a learning experience for me too. I'm looking forward to it. I think I've done a Therizinosaur one time for like a base mesh, but I haven't done like a full sculpt of one. Hey girl. Want to say hi? Maybe not. Yeah, she might start causing trouble here in a second. I might have to let her out. Gen Pop Fish, well done on the Kickstarter. Thanks so much. This is the troublemaker. This is the one causing all the noise, making all the noise. My girl. She wants to see if I have any breakfast up here, I think that's why she wanted up. But I don't have anything for her to eat. Right? There's no food. No food. No food. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do let her stay up here with me when I'm sculpting, because she's so tiny. She can curl up into a little ball and she'll stay on my desk. I have like a little circular like bed thing for her that I can put up here, but she hasn't done it for a while. I think she's only interested if I have food. Sorry, and was looking for a podcast to put on while I draw a pterosaur, but I can't miss your streams. Well, thank you. Yeah, that sounds fun. I love when people work alongside me and do other creative stuff while I'm sculpting or whatever it is. So, what pterosaur are you drawing? All right, I'm gonna let her out really quick. She has gone to watch TV with my wife. Dino Kairos is quite early, like 7th or 6th, I think. Okay. I feel like we should be able to get through him okay. Like the thing about Dino is his fur, I mean, his feathers are probably going to be like long and kind of shaggy. It depends on how we choose to like represent them, because it's like a hard balance, right? Like there's how other paleo media has represented the species, and there's like trying to be like unique and do something different and interesting. So I also wouldn't want to copy like anything that's already been done. But yeah, like he tends to be represented as like very shaggy, right? Like very long, like kind of coarse fibers for his feathers. And that kind of covering, especially in games, is going to be done mostly with cards. Whereas for the Tropeo, the majority of its feathers are very short and like it's more like fuzzy, not like really long and shaggy. So they have different textures. I feel like maybe in some ways the Dino might be easier because it's just going to be cards. For Tropeo, I think we might need to employ a couple different strategies, like a combination of cards and another method called shells to create the feather effect that we want. If you're not familiar with the shell like type of texturing for feathers and stuff, like just think of a game that has like a very fuzzy looking character. Like what comes to mind for me is like Monster Hunter, the cats in Monster Hunter, like how fuzzy and like there's short coats of fur, that kind of thing. That's not done with cards. It's a different approach. So we'll have to kind of figure that out for Tropeo. She's adorable. Thanks, Moxie. Pretty sure Packy is further up the list. That's what I think. That's what I have heard. Packy would be before. Glory Wiz, hi, how's it going? I'm doing well, thank you. She wants to be a gremlin pupper. Yeah, she wants to be like, she always wants to be in people's business, you know. Very curious little dog. She's always running around doing something. So if you like, and she really doesn't like when you stop her from her business. She'll get a little annoyed when you like hold her for too long or like that kind of thing. She's always on the go. True looks like a Chihuahua mix. Yeah, she's a Chihuahua mixed with a Dachshund, and a little weenie dog, a Chiweenie. She's got more like the Chihuahua face, but she's got like a very long body, very low to the ground body. I feel like there's a 3-minute delay on chat. Maybe. I honestly like I am a little behind on chat. I'm trying to sculpt and like catch all the messages, but yes, it's taken me a little bit longer to get through everybody's messages. I'm doing my best. I'm drawing Dirk, posted in Discord. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. I'll check it out if you what channel did you post it in? Furious, how's it going? How are you? It'll be interesting. We need to ensure the performance and also works with our skin system is the big thing. Feathers that can be customized would need attached to the core mesh. Yeah, I think that might be have to be a conversation between several people to figure out what we're actually going to do for it. But visually, I think if we want it to look better than some other pterosaur or like feather models out there, that's probably our best bet, is to go for because it needs to feel like more of a dense coat of short fur. And there's only we're not really going to get that if we go with cards. It's going to look very sparse and like because you'd have to increase the density of the cards to get the density you need visually, and we're obviously have some limitations as far as cards go. So I'm just kind of throwing out the strategies that I'm familiar with for consideration. I'm not saying that we absolutely have to go with one or the other. Honestly, I think a combination of both is what would work visually. Performance-wise and customization-wise, I can't say really. I don't really know. Chat is really delayed. Oh, I don't know. It could be a setting in the stream. It kind of, honestly, it kind of helps me with if there is a delay because I'm not like swamped with messages. But it shouldn't be like 3 minutes. I don't know what's going on. It should only be like a delay of like 30 to 60 seconds, not 3 minutes. But yeah, as far as like feathers and stuff go, we should probably decide on what the best course of action would be, because I'm gonna need to start getting into that stuff fairly soon. So maybe that's a conversation we should have like in the next like week and a half or so. That way I kind of have an idea of where I should be focusing my time. Because making cards and all that stuff is going to take a while. If we're doing the shelling approach, that's going to take a little bit of troubleshooting, to make sure like the technique is being done correctly and that it looks good. And it's a lot of testing that I think we'll want to do before we settle on like a definitive look. Because I think we have a decent opportunity with the Tropeo and our other feathered friends here to kind of like sell the effects better than maybe some of similar games do. So if we can do that, that would be awesome. I love palicos. Yeah, palicos are funny little guys. I would say that I'm not much of a cat person, but palicos definitely like make me appreciate cats a little bit more. I thought she was a Jack Russell at first time I saw her face. Oh, gotcha. Okay, true. It was YouTube being weird. Okay. Gun. Hi. How's it going? Hello from Spain. Wow. Welcome. It's in the artwork channel. Artwork. I have to scroll pretty far. Okay. Oh, so it's like a Rempharincoid. It's got a cool face. I really like Rempharinchus or related species because of their teeth. Yeah, I think they have really cool teeth and like their beak, the combo. Sorry guys, I'm having a little bit of a chat with Furious real quick. Okay, where are we at? I was doing stuff inside the mouth here. It's kind of a weird transition inside the mouth because it's like probably like a softer like palate, like probably the roof of your mouth like feel to it. So it's not like, it's like smooth, right? But then towards the edge of this area here, it's got to get like more keratinous, I suppose. I need to pull up my refs real quick. Give me a sec. I have so many pure ref boards up right now. I was looking back at some of my older creature models in the past few days. And looking at, because some of these models are like much older, like at least 10 years old, some of them are, or more. And I was looking at the way I used to like do reference sheets, and man, I don't know how I functioned without pure ref back then, because the reference sheets were a pain. And I have like so many folders just full of stuff. I'm really glad that this program exists. Smugs. Yeah, the Muscular Chef is probably one of my favorite palicos that they've ever designed. I have a print of him. It's a cool little print that I got at Comic-Con. One of the Comic-Cons that I go to. Let me see if you can see it. It's him, and he's got his little chef guys standing on top of his head. I hope you can see that. It's pretty fun. It's a really cool little print. I have it up next to all my Monster Hunter stuff. The grandma chef, I can't remember what her name is. The one that was in Iceborne is also really cute. She's very sweet. There are a lot of videos of people who just like watch the palicos, because like they put a ton of detail into the palico animations. Like they do like cool little activities, little things that you wouldn't expect. Funny little things, little gags that they pull when you just like sit and watch them. And a lot of people really appreciate like all the detail that go into it, and they they watch them and like figure out all the animations they do and stuff. That's pretty funny. Hey Sharky, how's it going? How are you doing? I was watching. There's somebody who did a really good cosplay of the I think her name is the Meowster Chef. That's the Meowster Chef, is the old lady, little old lady Palico in Iceborne. But they did a really good job. Oh yeah, the sacred. I mean, I do love the Palamutes, but the sacred is really that's really what I've been wanting from Monster Hunter for a while. Like my friend and I were talking about this like years and years ago. We had a whole conversation about how it would be cool if you had like a little like a hunting buddy. I mean, the Palico's your hunting buddy, but like like a dog or something like that, but it would be cool if it was like a little raptor or something. So when we saw that you could ride a dino in wilds, we got really excited. Oh, Sharky, I'm doing pretty well, thank you. Just working through some details on the Tropeo this morning. Some final kind of details on the beak here. I had to work on the alignment of all these teeth. So that's what I'm fussing with right now. The exfoliating skin, exactly, yeah. Let's see. Gotta work a bit on the lower jaw here. Since I introduced a whole new tooth right here. So I gotta integrate that more. Oh, is there an event going on today? Like a celebration event for Echoes? The Kickstarter? I thought there was something going on in game. Yes. Okay, cool. There's just you and Void in the server. Oh, 7 minutes until start. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'd imagine there'd be more than just you and Void in there. One would hope. I damn near live on the server. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Sorry, just one. You guys probably think that you might think the stream is frozen again because I'm standing so still. I'm looking for something really quick. An old message.
This technology.
Oh. This is what I'm looking for. All right. Okay. I need some detail on this tongue here. So we'll do some little wrinkles and stuff. In here. Let me catch up with chat because I've been typing up a storm. Where is chat? There we are. It's not an addiction, okay? Let's see. Maroof Croc, what's your software? It's ZBrush, yeah. ZBrush. I was having a conversation with an artist that worked at Titmouse. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that studio. Titmouse is an animation studio that worked on like Avatar: The Last Airbender. They're currently working on like Vox Machina and Mighty Nine, those projects. She works as a background like layout artist and stuff like that, I think. But she was I was talking to her about like all the different tools I use to make stuff, and I mentioned ZBrush, and she was kind of surprised that I was using ZBrush still, which was pretty interesting. Like, I think she was saying that for them, Blender is like the I guess it's taking over as like the standard. or it's starting to. But yeah, oh sorry. Yeah, she was talking about how Blender seems to be taken over more, which I think is probably a good thing. Because it's overall it's probably a more accessible program. But I was a little sad because I was like, oh man, I do love ZBrush. I mean, it's got its like weird little quirky stuff, but I've worked with it a lot, and I'd kind of hate to see it like go completely. I think it's probably far. We're not like at that point yet, but it's potential that could be the case if they don't like try to be competitive with what's coming out, what Blender is doing. Maruf, I'm a big fan of your team project. Oh, thanks. Yeah, not my team. I'm part of the team. It would be Islander who's the project lead. But thank you. I get what you mean though. Thanks a lot. I'm just kind of recessing these areas a little bit. Just so, like this stuff, like if I go into the low poly, a lot of that doesn't get like preserved. But it will show up on the in the maps. I might actually, I don't know. If I'm looking at this, I might have to go back into the low poly and actually create some specific geo for, because I would really like these to be visible, like these like sockets for the teeth, right? And if I go into low poly, depending on the subdiv, and maybe it'll work. Because my low poly is like really low poly. Like it is. I think it's possibly a good thing because it's very cheap for the game. I would guess, but like that's not the whole body. Let me see. You gotta look at the whole body. How many polygons is this? That's too much. Because we still need to allow room for the feather cards. So I would say we want to go as low as possible. So yeah, I don't know. I might have to go back in and adjust that so that way we have enough geometry to support like details like that, so they don't get lost in the form. Hatsune Mai Quick Dinosaurs will come after the Peru and Tropeo. I think you're right, Fox. I think it's Packy. As far as I know. But things can always change. So... Okay. I think, am I good on that now? Oh, I need to add this stuff here because this is like these teeth are like sharing a socket, which doesn't make sense. Got to get rid of that. Yeah, if Packy is the next model, I'm actually super excited about that because it's been a while since I've done any work on a Pachycephalosaurus. I did a skeleton for a Pachycephalosaurus. Probably close to 10 years ago. I did a lot of research to make that skeleton. It's surprising, like I kind of thought that Packy was relatively well known from like as far as like material that we have of it. But when I was doing research, I kind of realized that it's not as well known as I thought it was. There's actually not a huge amount, especially not for its. I think they have like maybe a couple skulls, maybe a few more partial skulls, but there's really only two main ones, as far as I know, that have like a good representation of the skull. One of them is not mature. It's not a fully mature adult. But the one that's not mature is more complete. The more like the older skull is only like a partial skull, if I'm remembering it right. It has been a long time. The other thing that I found pretty interesting, this came later from working with some other like paleontologist advisors and stuff, is a lot of people think that Packy has like a beak, and it's easy to kind of see that if you look at the skull, but one of the people I was working with was saying that it's more likely that at least the top part of the mouth did not have like a very distinct beak. The bottom, you can see more of a sort of a beak where there could have been keratin, but the top part does not have that. We did a reconstruction of Packy like that, you know, showing that detail for Fax Dinos, and there was a couple of comments pointing out the weird beak. But if it's not in the fossil, it's not in the fossil, you know. Okay. All right, I think I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna leave the head alone for a little bit, and I will jump back over to. Let me save before I do anything else. Axolotl addict. I didn't know that reminds me of a cow. That's exactly the sort of like thing I was thinking about too. That's kind of like it seems like it might be like maybe a little bit of a convergent evolution thing. I'm not sure why that happens. Like I don't know why cows have that, you know. From a scientific evolution standpoint, but it is interesting, like an interesting like physical similarity at least. Yeah, I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to check that out. Yeah, if you find if you find any information about it, let me know. I'd be interested. I like doing like the little subtle wrinkles and stuff on here. I feel like my patience for that has gotten much better. I used to really rush through this little, like these little kind of things, like all that little stuff that I just added there. But it does add a lot of nice I like how the light falls on it much better after doing that kind of thing. I'm kind of dilly-dallying because I got burned on these fingers and hands and feet, and now I have to redo them, but I'm like stalling, so I should just do it instead of procrastinating. So here I go. Let's see. Gotta delete that. I gotta go back here. I need to make sure they're in the right position first before I do anything. Okay, so I think I just want like a little bit of distance between the fingers and stuff. That way when I'm in there sculpting, they don't get in the way. But now that I have them in the right position, I think I'm gonna break them away from the mesh. I don't know why, but this mesh does not like to be subdivided beyond this point, and it causes ZBrush to crash. So the trick that I'm using to get around that is I'm just breaking off little pieces of the mesh that I need, that I know will need extra detail, because a lot of this is going to get covered in feathers, like this stuff, all of this stuff here. Like the core of the body is going to get covered in feathers, like very fine. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes, but either way, it's going to get covered in some sort of fuzz. So all of that. So, but like all this stuff that doesn't get covered in fuzz. So the claws, the face, the feet, all of that stuff I want to make sure it is nicely detailed. Did I have... I'm looking at my concept again. Yeah, I had feathers going all the way under his chin. Like all the way here. Yeah, axolotl. The cool thing though that it offers us is like maybe later down the line, like maybe we have like alternate ways of distributing the feathers or something, and like we could do cool stuff where like maybe there's like an alternate version of the Tropeo where like his whole head is like bare or something, and then you have that detail still there, you know. And then for those of people who are very like detail oriented, realism based or whatever, like I always like seeing that creators take the time to do this stuff, even though it's not like visible necessarily. It's still, you know, the fact that it's still under there and you could see it if you wanted to is a cool feature. So we'll excuse me, we'll break out I'm gonna break off the claws so I can subdivide them a little bit more, and then we'll just bake that down. Bake that down onto the game model when we're ready. Oh, Smugsy, you like the dark gray? Okay, I think that's a good little section we'll just delete. We'll delete delete lower, delete hidden, and then we'll reconstruct the subdivs really quick. Solid black skins are really cool. There is a really famous, well, I guess it depends on how paleo art, how much of a paleo art nerd everyone is, but I really want to do a Ceratosaurus model, and just have the texture be pretty much all black. There was a painting from Wayne Barlow. I think it was part of this book called The Alphabet of Dinosaurs or something. I used to check the book out a lot when I was in elementary school. But he has a really cool painting of Ceratosaurus. And they're kind of just lounging around this, I think it's like carcass that they killed. But the skin is pretty much all black. They have a blue, here it is. They have a blue pressed here. But this has always been like one of my favorite representations of Ceratosaurus. I want to do some kind of homage to it eventually someday. I have the same affinity towards like very dark skins for dinos as well. Oh, it's one of your favorites too, Sharky? Yeah, it's a very good one. It's one of those that sticks with me a lot. Wayne Barlow is like one of my favorite artists ever. Yeah, that image, there's a lot actually from Wayne Barlow's books that I've like. There's a very famous I would say it's very famous. It's a Nanotyrannus image where the Nanotyrannus is looking straight at the camera. It looks very weird, but it's also very cool. I think it's one of the first times that I because usually you don't see angles like that on dinosaurs in paintings. Like you don't see people paint them like straight on like that. So it was like one of the first times where I actually saw like how unique they look from a front view. Because it's a very like they're very strange kind of the way their muzzle tapers and how they look when they're looking down their muzzle. With their binocular vision is it's kind of unusual, but it's also very cool looking to me. He has also this very cool his sense of color is kind of out there, but it like just works. He had a very cool oviraptor. But the cool thing about it is the oviraptor was pink, or like orange, and he also did these like pink Deinonychus. They're very like they're pink. They're like hot pink Deinonychus. But I mean, I feel like it looks like the lighting is just so dramatic and all the other stuff going on. It's so cool. This oviraptor is really sick. It's of course like this is done in like, you know, we didn't have like all the data on like feathers and stuff, so it's a naked oviraptor, but it's still awesome. It's also one of my favorites. Dinosaurs are very weird from the front. Yeah, they are. Bixinski. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'd imagine that Bixinski is an influence on him, but I can't confirm. I don't know. I've never read or been able to talk to him about it. I would like to meet him one day. I mean, he's also done designs for a lot of my favorite stuff, like Pacific Rim. He worked on Pacific Rim. He did the designs for lots of the kaiju on there. Avatar. He did a lot of the preliminary designs for the Ikran and Toruk. What do they call them? The Thanator. The Viper Wolves. Those guys. Lots of the creature stuff on the first Avatar. What else has he done? Lots of stuff for... he works with Del Toro a lot. So Blade 2, Hellboy, Alien Planet is huge. I love that documentary. Yeah, he's done a lot. Yeah, Alien Planet is like one of my favorite. Well, yeah, I think I'd say it's one of my favorite. Like, I guess you would call it like a mockumentary or something like that. It's like it's a documentary, but it's not of like real things, but they're treating it as realistic as possible. So other examples of that would be like The Future is Wild, Dragons, A Fantasy Made Real. There are a few of those that came out right around the same time. And I love those. But of those, Alien Planet is probably my favorite. Like the arrow tongue is such a cool design. The dagger wrist is really awesome too. There's so much. A sci-fi doc. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to remember what the term was for those types of documentaries. Um, one of so for Alien Planet is based on his book Expedition, and that is one of those like sort of holy grail books that I want to get a hold of, but it's out of print, or at least it was. They might have done a reprint recently, but it was out of print, and trying to find one that's in good condition and like not super expensive is very hard. So that's still on my list of like books that I would really love to have, but I don't currently have. Katran, is Trope have different abilities? Yes, Tropeo has different abilities. But I'm not exactly sure what they are. But he will have different abilities. One of the ones that I illustrated on the concept is like a flesh tear sort of ability. Because of his teeth. But that's the only one that I am aware of. But that sort of stuff is planned. Axolotl, I don't know if you know this or not, but since I'm here, I might as well ask. Will line art be made for any of the creatures when contributors help with skin designs? That's I know that's not in your wheelhouse. Oh, that's absolutely in my wheelhouse. Yeah, I can make if that's necessary. Cuz like this could be probably turned into a template of some kind. This is the concept I drew. But you can also do cool stuff in ZBrush. To make a quick template for you guys, I could just do like I gotta show the model real quick. I gotta hide his head again. Do that. But for like a template for a skin, it's really easy to make. All I need to do is I made this custom material that acts like ink outlines. So I just like render one of these out like this. And then I do like multiple views because we'll need the side view, top view, and bottom view. So I would just render out like a couple different views of this, like that, and then flip it around and do the bottom, and then put them on a sheet. And I suppose I don't know. I guess we could, for a creator collaboration, we definitely do that. If like the community wants some sort of template to do their skins on and show them to the team, it's possible they could be made available on Discord or something. But yeah, we can do something like that. Oh no, we do have dedicated skin artists, but usually I provide them I do provide them with a template that they can work from. I haven't done that just yet. And I also do skins myself. So I'll be making a few variations for the Tropeo, and then it'll also get ideas coming from the skin team as well. So we'll have a ton of skin ideas for the Tropeo, I'd imagine. And then we'll just pick like the best ones or a few starting ones. That's what we did with we did the exact same thing with the Eo Carcharia and the Arano. So I'd imagine we'll do the same thing to these guys. I know it's a very long way off, but since I got the desires, I was thinking about spending some time coming up with a skin concept for Mastodonsaurus. Oh, okay, that's the Temnospondyle. Um, yeah, I'd say go. Go for it. Um, we, yeah, it's a. I don't know exactly where that is in the roster. It does sound like it's a bit of ways off, so I don't have like a concept for it yet. If I did, I'd be happy to post it somewhere and let you guys have at it, but I don't have one. But yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. Man, it's been a while since I've worked with the Temnospondyle. I really love them. I think they're really cool. Their teeth are gnarly. Like, if you look inside the mouth of a Temnospondyle, they have a ton of teeth, like very small, like jagged teeth around the edges of their mouth. But then they have like internal teeth, and some of them have fangs, like on the roofs of their mouth and stuff. It's very nasty looking. I would not want to get bit by one of those things. But that's also what makes them so cool. I was working on a skeletal skull reconstruction of Antarctosuchus. I think the name of it is Antarctosuchus. I was doing it for a class that I took on paleo reconstruction with Tyler Keeler. We had to take a skull. He gave us the CT scan data. I think it was the CT scan data. And it was a partial skull. Like, it was still fairly well preserved. Like, you had the majority of it, but there was some distortion in the skull, and some parts were missing. So he was showing us how to like go about taking the distortion out of the skull, and then we had to do a ton of research to figure out how to reconstruct the missing bits, because there were some parts in the back of it that were missing a little bit. And then I wanted to do like a very quick flesh reconstruction of it, but I ran out of time. But that's where I learned a lot about Temnospondyles and their anatomy. The teeth are really what stuck with me because they're so crazy looking. Oh yeah, it was. I mean, it once I like took the time to research, because it's a lot of comparing, right? Comparing and contrasting from different animals that we do have those parts for. So I did like this big tree of like a reference tree, basically, of like, here's Antarctosuchus, here are the other Temnospondyles that we have, here's how they're related to Antarctosuchus, and then I would like reference the closest relatives as much as possible, and then only if I needed to I would go outside of that. But like mapping that all out was that was hard, probably the hardest part. Once I got a feel for like what the anatomy looked like, it was not too bad to infer what the missing parts were. But yeah, that class was really awesome. it was great to learn from Tyler. I think he's like the resident artist at the Field Museum in Chicago. I think he still is. And that just, I mean, that's like a dream job for real. Like that museum is amazing. So being able to go in there for work every day and just sculpt dinosaurs, that would be an amazing opportunity for sure. I would not want to leave that job, and that's probably why he hasn't he hasn't left the job either. If I remember correctly, the skull is missing like a good chunk of the back and the snout, right? Yeah. Yeah, and there's a bit of like twisted. I can't remember exactly. It's like shifted over. It's either like compressed or twisted somehow to one side. But one of the sides is fairly untouched, so we had to like remove the damaged parts. I'll probably, like, when we do work on the temnospondyls in the game, I'll probably pull that reference out because it's still pretty relevant. I would think maybe there's a few adjustments to make since I did it, but I think it would still be useful. And I'll try and show that skull, because that skull is a really good skull to look at. Since we're closer to the end of the stream, I just wanted to mention that I'm finally starting up my live stream on my YouTube channel. So it's going to be focused primarily on creature designs. I'll probably do some dinos on there as well, because of course I love dinosaurs and they're always a part of my... I have a ton of dinosaurs that I started in my personal project folders that need to get some attention. So there'll probably be some dinosaurs on there as well. But I am starting that up on Monday, this coming Monday, at 6 p.m. PST. I will make an announcement. I'll schedule it on my YouTube channel, and I'll make an announcement on Blue Sky probably tomorrow. So if you guys want to come hang out and take a look at some of the other work I do, that's not strictly dinosaur related, you're all welcome to come and join and hang out. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm a little bit nervous about that one, because I don't know, for some reason it feels very different streaming like my own personal ideas as opposed to like Echoes stuff. Even though, like, either way I'm still designing and stuff, so I don't know why it feels super different, but kind of does. But I'm excited to get it going. Oh no, 3 a.m. in the morning for me. I'll have the replays and stuff available, so if you wanted to watch later, that's fine. Yeah, I realize that, like, it might not be the best time for everybody, but it's kind of like, it's like the only time during the week that I would have. But yeah, maybe I'll see some of you there. That would be cool. If not, no worries. But yeah, I don't know if I already said that, but yeah, the links to my YouTube and my Blue Sky are in the description of the stream right now. So if you wanted to stay up to date on when all that stuff's coming out, I will make sure to announce stuff there. There might be the possibility of like adding other ones. Maybe later on I might add another slot like on a weekend or something, that so other people from different time zones can join. But I just want to start out kind of slow and see how it goes, you know? See how it feels in the schedule and all that stuff. Nice, Axolotl. Thank you. Okay. Just want to get a little bit more detail on this hand. Oh, thanks, Sharky. I really appreciate that. Axolotl, you're the... I made a piece of artwork you like? What, which one is that? Sungareptorus. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I did one for my 30 days of dinosaurs. It was like Dinovember. I did one. I feel like I need to I have this big urge to like take all of those Dinovember drawings and like completely redo them. They're kind of, it might be cool to see like a comparison. Like they were done very quickly. Like when I say I did a dinosaur a day, like it was literally like on the day I did every day I did a dinosaur, like, and I was not able to focus on them like the entire day, right? Because I had work and stuff. So it was like maybe like 4-5 hours after work that I had to like quickly do a dinosaur in. So it was pretty rough, and I think I could have done a much better job if I had allowed myself time to like schedule things out properly. But yeah, it would be interesting to revisit some of those and see what I can do with them when I have some proper time, and hopefully my skills have advanced since then, right? But there are quite a few of those that I was pretty happy with. I do remember the Sungareptorus. I like that pterosaur a lot, actually. It's got a really interesting skull shape, and I'm always like Anything that has a very unique looking skull, I'm kind of I tend to like those more than just like a traditional looking like pterosaur skull, you know? Big crests and big like teeth and strange beak shapes, like all that stuff is really fun. Oh, thanks for the the Hesperornis was fun too. I like the colors on that one. Okay, I think so I need to work on more of the feet and stuff. But we'll get to that in the next stream or so, and then we'll see where we go from there. But thanks everybody for stopping in today. Thanks for chatting. I hope you have a good weekend, and yeah, keep an eye out for that stream on Monday. If you're able to come, I really appreciate it. Thanks. Have a good rest of your Saturday. See you later.